today. As you can see, I have two lovely guests next to me. Let's welcome Paul and Cynthia from Century 21, Vox Realty.
Thank you so much for having us.
Woo! Can you get some cheers for that? More cheers, more audience. Yeah. How are y'all doing?
Good.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this conversation. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Okay. And so, first to start, the KillaKonvos podcast is basically a girls' talk. We talk about all things that, impact young people in their 20s, particularly young Black people in their 20s. So anything that, that we go through, because I'm in my 20s, slowly exiting, unfortunately.
I wish I'd be there.
Lucky you.
I know, but it just goes so fast. I was just talking to my godbrother this morning about it, that we were just 21, then we were 23, and now we're 27. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
Time flies.
You just gotta enjoy the ride.
I know, that's what I was saying. I'd make the most out of it,
Mm-hmm.
But, and so some of the things that young people are worried about, some of the things that they're thinking about are entrepreneurship, how to build a successful business, homeownership, building wealth for their families. And, for some of us, running a business with our partner. I see I hear a lot of people talking about, I just want to be with my person and build an empire with them. And I hear that all the time. And so I want to talk about that today because you guys can relate to all of those things. So that's why I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So first, before we start, let us know who you are, where you from, what do you guys do?
My name is Cynthia Dorso. I work for Century 21 Vox Realty. Okay. I'm actually the owner with my partner.
Okay.
And I was born in Argentina.
Okay.
I'm fully Spanish. That's pretty much who I am. I'm a mother of one child.
Okay.
Now I have an additional two.
Oh.
So we have
blended
three.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girls that you
And
never
we
had.
have one dog together.
One dog. What kind of dog?
Old
what is
English
it?
sheepdog.
It's a big, fluffy dog.
Oh, what's his name? Or her
Max.
name? Max. Oh.
Yeah,
that was
this
her
strayer.
dream dog.
That was my dream dog. It's not anymore.
No.
It's too big. He breaks everything.
Honestly, dogs would do that. I am the mother of one fur baby.
Oh.
Her name is Jelly, and she's like this big. Jelly's actually peed on this table before.
Oh.
When she was a puppy. So
Cute.
she christened this table a long time ago.
Good thing
That's a
she's
good thing.
this big. Otherwise, you would have a river here.
Right. And actually, what was I going to say? She actually did it on camera.
Oh.
Like I had her.
That's a
at the
life memory.
Right. So everyone saw it on the episode. She was just walking on the table, and then she just popped a squat when she was a little puppy.
You need to go.
KillaKonvos. Yeah, Marvin was like, you got to get out of here. But okay. What about you, Paul? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm a little bit of everything. I've been born in Portugal, raised in South America, Venezuela, the country. Moved to the States when I was 19, and then kind of been in college 2 years, dropped out. I did civil engineering.
Okay.
And then I'd face construction. I need to feed my family. I have two beautiful daughters. Now I've met this beautiful woman, actually in a real estate convention, and we decided to do this journey together. You know?
So I have so many questions after what you guys shared, but when was the last time you guys were home in Argentina and Portugal?
Argentina, we were...
we went back in 2018.
Okay.
I had a wedding and I took him for the first time.
Oh.
And we were going to get remarried in Portugal, but COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we got postponed and postponed.
And that's it.
It's still postponed.
Well,
Next
that will be
question,
beautiful.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, that would be beautiful. I had to go to South America.
It's beautiful.
You been to anywhere in South America?
No, I've only been to the Caribbean and Africa. My first time out of the country was to Ghana.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful. We actually have one person that is from Ghana that works for us. Yes.
Okay.
We're like the UN. We got a bunch of people from everywhere, pretty much. We love it. We love it.
I know.
It spice it up a little bit for the office.
Nice.
Yes, our agents are from
diversity of
literally
culture.
everywhere.
Okay.
Every country is in our office.
Okay, and you guys run. So let us know. So for those of us who aren't like aware of how real estate offices work, because we know like the Keller Williams and 21st Century is like a big kind of company, right?
It's a
Yeah.
big.
You guys own.
It's a big franchise. Actually, I think it's the oldest.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
one of the first ones that came out.
What made you guys like pick Century 21?
The culture, I think,
okay.
is the history they had behind, and not in USA per se, but we do a lot of international too. So in European countries, South America, actually Century 21 is the most trusted one because
Okay.
of the history they have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you guys own, so 21st Century Vox Realty is your...
Century 21.
Century 21
Vox.
is your... So I keep looking at your sweater and it's like...
I see 21.
Yeah. So you guys own that office.
Yeah, it's
basically.
a independently owned franchise. Everybody owns their own franchise.
And you both own it together.
Yes.
And you're married.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
4 years.
For 4 years? Okay.
We actually
Beautiful
just made 4 years on October.
Oh,
so-
congratulations.
Yeah.
Woo!
We go for
Anniversary. Oh. So what made you decide to, own this franchise together? Like, what was that? How did you guys come to that, decision?
We wanted something of our own.
Mm-hmm.
We were working already together.
Kind of by accident, so you can share the story.
Yeah, it was kind of by accident. I asked him to come with me to assist me in one of my showings with a particular couple that I had. And it happened that we got along so well during the showing that they put in an offer, not only on that one, on the first house, but then they put in a bunch of offers afterwards, and they got the offer accepted. So we said, why not working together? We make more, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
So they really like the synergy together and the trust us by seeing us as a couple. Actually, whenever I wasn't showing with her, people were asking her, "Where's Cynthia? Where is she?" So that bond got us to, why don't we have something of our own?
Mm-hmm.
We were managing somebody else's office, and we're like, you know what? Let's do our own baby.
Do our own thing, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we started.
And it's like you see that a lot. Everyone's starting to, especially young people are starting to really feel like they want to do their own thing. They want to go into entrepreneurship. The 9-to-5 concept is out the window now because of COVID and also social media. We're seeing a lot of entrepreneurs. We're seeing a lot of people who have successful businesses, young people who are buying houses and things like that. And so I feel like a lot of us are really getting more into kind of entrepreneurship, owning our own businesses, working for ourselves, because we're also realizing that the 9-to-5 is not, there's no longevity in it. Amazon's about to cut 10,000 people.
That is great.
Meta just
so crazy.
11,000. They just
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it went up to 11,000?
Yes.
11,000 people are about to be out of a job.
Mm-hmm. So I think the society is changing their mindset.
Yeah.
Before, I remember my parents just telling me, "Oh, get something secure, 9-to-5."
Yeah.
I think society has realized that you making somebody else's wealth.
Yeah.
Why not doing it ourselves?
Yeah.
It is risky,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you gotta take the chances. You gotta go to that rugged road together.
Yeah, it was
together.
Now, one thing you have to know, it's no longer a 9-to-5. It's a 24/7.
Yeah. It's not easier because, some people can go to work and then they come home. Other folks, they go to work, they kind of have to bring their work home sometimes, depending on what industry you're working in. But when I was working at a consulting firm, and it was a private firm, it was owned by, this woman, and essentially we were doing every job. It was a small firm, we were doing everything. So literally I would sit there in the office and just be like, I'm really making someone else rich. Yes, we're getting paid. We get paid pretty well, but I am running someone else's business. while I have my own podcast and I'm kind of like slacking on the podcast, not recording like I used to. I went on like a 10-month hiatus because I'm just like lost in the flow of work, you know, the 9 to 5. And so you kind of, what is the word? Like neglect your own because you're so engulfed in making someone else's work like a, you know, like a well-oiled machine. And so I hear you guys when it's one thing to want to start because you realize like we're making someone else rich. Like we have the skills, we have the talent, people love us together. Like we would be a dynamic team together and actually doing it. You know, so there's like a difference between, because a lot of people want to start their own businesses.
Well, that's key.
Yeah.
First you have
it's just
to
doing it.
Make it in your head and kind of wanting to, and then you have to put in the effort. If you don't start, you'll never get anything or anywhere.
The funny part doing it with your partner is that you can always rely to her. Like whenever I lack on something, she's always got my back, and vice versa. So that's the beauty of doing it with a partner, that you have that someone to relate to, who to talk at night, because we don't unplug for business. Never. We talk to the kids about it. We talk at bed. We're always connected and talking about it. What can we do better? What can we do for the agents? What can we bring into the culture to make it better? And it's always the business.
Are you both like very business oriented? Because it sounds like that works for you.
Well, I grew up. My dad always owned his own business. My mom was always still at home, and they always told me to kind of go like 9 to 5 or a secure job, but I always wanted more. Yeah. You know, and then when I met Paul, he was very open, and he had a really open mind, and he kind of like pushed me. So he helped me a lot into what we are today.
Wow. Yes. What is like the key to running a successful business with your partner? Like what has worked for you guys? Because it may be different for everyone, but
it takes a lot of listening. Yeah. If you don't listen to your partner, and that goes to any entrepreneur too. If you don't listen to your employees, what are the needs, you will never run a successful business. Yeah. So I think key component is listening to each other and come up with a solution for that issue at the moment.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's, basically communicating everything with each other and making sure that you don't do the same thing twice. Yeah. If organizing yourself, basically. Without organization, it's a complete disaster, you know.
And you gotta be mindful that it's gonna be a failure. There is not such a thing as pretty business that is not gonna fall. You gotta learn how to stand up for each other. So and that's the success. That's the key.
And how long have you guys been running Vox Realty?
About a year.
A year?
A year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not fun, but it was good.
Yeah, because your first year is super hard, right?
Well, we had some bumps, but every day and everything that we go through, it just makes us better. Okay. It's a learning. You know, you learn from your mistakes, and basically you look back, and what we learned this year, it's like beyond what we thought we could have done. Yeah, so I'm very proud of ourselves.
And we always demand more. It's like a drug. You get addicted to it. So you're like, every year you look back and you're like, we gotta do better. Let's do this. Let's do that. A lot of planning involved.
What is one thing you really want to improve?
I guess what would be? It would be getting people to listen. And I mean it in a way that we put in all of our efforts into the office, into leads, into we see the potential into our agents, and some of them don't see it in themselves. So that's one thing that I want to get. It's their attention for them to actually
receive the
message and excel their expectations. Yeah. Otherwise, they'll never get anywhere.
Nice. You know? What did you guys how did you guys start? Like, what did you need to kind of launch everything?
Money.
Oh yeah.
Well, you gotta
start the franchise.
First you get a picture of what you want it to be. Planning, and then put it into perspective. Owning a franchise is kind of like different because you gotta pay the franchise, you gotta obey their rules and regulations. So it's kind of different from a regular mom and pop's real estate, which you make your own bylaws. You still make your own bylaws by the office, but you ruled out by a bigger franchisor. So it was a lot of planning, a lot of learning, a lot of self-managing. We had to learn how to, instead of being two, manage 36 agents that we have. So it's different characters, different attitudes, different cultures. Like I said, it's people from many other countries that you gotta learn their cultures and adjust to them. So it's kind of like adjusting to the environment you're in. And what we wanted to achieve is build that culture where everybody can work together without stabbing back. I can say that, right?
We don't want anyone to cheat on each other. Like, oh, I got a client. Oh, I'm gonna come to the office and steal that client. Like, we don't want that kind of culture in the office. So it's kind of like.
And you can ask any other agents. We treat our company as a family oriented. We call it the Vox family, and that's what we want to build. Embed that in them, that we're a family and we got each other's back.
Yeah. Sounds like a good.
I could say that we don't hire just to hire people. Like we value who you are, and if you have a good reputation, then you are welcome. Okay. But if you don't, it may not be the good fit.
Okay. You know? What about like brand new real estate agents? Like, what do you look for in new agents that may come to you and be
they
like,
must have drive.
Yeah.
If they don't have it in them, if they can't prove themselves, we'll do a psychology test, and I'm not gonna say that it's always the right thing to do. There's no right or wrong answers, but definitely their drive, it's what makes them successful in real estate, because you don't get that steady check. You don't have that stability. 1 month, it's like a roller coaster, and if you don't learn to adjust with your checks from 1 month and then the next 3 months without it, then it's kind of like you need to have either someone to provide for you, or you really need to be strong.
Yeah.
So they're driving.
Nowadays, today's market is crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of real estate and today's market, home ownership is like, over the past year, my generation has learned so much about how home ownership is like the driver of wealth. If you're not owning a home, you're not doing it right. You're not living right. If you're not doing it right now, then what is wrong with you? Like, why rent? So I've been seeing like a lot of those messages, and I can understand how we could feel the pressure of like owning a home at a certain time. And it's like in your early 20s, it's like you see all these images of people buying their first home at 23 and starting to get into investment properties and all of those things. And so it can be a lot of pressure because we may not know, like, where do you start with buying a house? Like, buying a house is so intimidating. Why would I do that right now? I don't need that kind of responsibility. What do I need a house for? I'm only in my 20s. I should be renting because I'm in my 20s. And so, so everyone's teaching us that, like, home ownership is, like, something that you must do, like, that you absolutely must do. But right now is, like, we're talking about inflation and a recession and how mortgage rates are going up so high. And so
we're actually not that bad, according to the history, the regular
compared to previous like recessions and things like that.
I would say that a middle interest rate, it's 8% throughout the whole history, and we're still under that. So we're not at the worst yet.
Yeah,
we still have pretty good ones. And this week they came down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
real estate is always good to invest because you can buy a car and the minute you pull out of the parking lot, the value of that car just dropped. Real estate is kind of funny. You buy this property today, it might dip a little bit, but it's constantly going up, and you have that money saving. It's not gonna be like in a bank account that you're not gonna see your return like in 20 years. A housing can go like for some people in 2019, 2018, they made equity for like 100, 200, 300,000 in their property, and they're still going up. They might don't agree with me, but I see that the properties that went down in value because they were overpriced. Is it good to purchase a home right now? Every day of your life, you should be thinking on investing.
So I did my research a little bit. I did a little, FBI work on your page or whatever. But you guys bought your first home in 2020.
That's correct.
Was it your home or was it like an investment property?
We started with our own, and then we bought a 2-family.
Okay.
And from the equity that we made into 2020, because of the inflation and all that helped a lot of people, we decided it was the right time to invest in something else.
Okay.
Because you got to build that wealth for your children.
Because everyone was telling you not to buy in 2020. And, you heard that all over the news, like, don't do anything right now, but you did it anyway.
I have a good quote that I can say. There is buyers in 2016. They're telling me, oh, I don't want to buy in 2016 because the market is going to crash. And Hernan, he literally bought in this year, and he said, if I would have bought in 2016, I would have been selling my property and making money and buying another one. I should have listened to you. So I would say my suggestion, my advice to people is don't listen to the whispers.
Okay.
Is it a right time to buy? Yes.
Okay. So now is a good time to buy.
Yeah. Anytime is a good time.
You know when is a good time to buy?
When?
When you can. When you're ready.
Yeah.
When you have the money. When you already fix your credit.
Yeah.
When you already have it together. Maybe you're doing it alone. Maybe you have a partner. That's when you should. Rates are up. Well, next year may go down.
Yeah.
It's
like a stock. It's like it's going to go down a little bit, but it's going to go up, and it's going to go down, it's going to go up. So why does the news try to scare us with, like, mortgage rates are so high? Don't buy right now. Like, why are they doing that to us?
The same way they scare us with COVID-19. They just want you to run away from things.
So how does someone, like, say a person in their 20s, how should you find out for yourself? You say don't listen to the whispers. So what should we reference? Like, what resources should we use to, like, figure it out on our own if it's good for us?
So what my suggestion to people is, like, when you have a toothache, you go to a shoe maker or you go to the dentist. So you should go to a lender, a real estate agent, and run my credit, see what is my buying power. If you have issues with your credit, you go to a credit repair guy. We actually give out a guide to all first-time home buyers, and he teaches you step by step.
It's really good.
So they teach you step by step what are the things that you need to do, and during the transaction, what should be you looking at.
Okay. That's helpful. So your office offers,
are you looking to buy a house?
Oh, yeah. I want, like, when I'm working that 9 to 5, I'm like, I want investment properties because I don't want to work. Okay? I don't want to do a 9 to 5 and do that commute every other day. And then they're talking about we're going back into the office 5 days out of the week. It's like, we don't need to do that anymore. No. COVID spoiled us, honestly, when we didn't have to go to work. But I'm like, I want investment properties. I just want that passive income coming in. I just want to wake up and there's money in my account because there are just all these successful ventures that I'm doing.
That freedom that you feel, that sensation.
Yeah.
It's powerless. Yeah.
So what is more important, the cash or the credit, if you're thinking about buying a house?
It all depends.
Okay.
If you have a lot of cash, it could work. But cash is not king anymore because everybody can get hard money loans, and so now you can spread your cash into 3, 4, 5 different properties.
Okay.
So cash is not really king anymore.
Okay.
If we want to put it that way.
But overall, credit, it oversees everything. Because if you're getting a private money, they're required to have a good credit score. If you get a conventional loan, you need to have a credit. So it's good to have a lender check your credit report and see what are the things that you need to target before you starting to buy a house. That's one of the main things to do.
Because I can imagine a lot of young people feeling intimidated by home ownership and feeling like they're not ready or they absolutely can't do it because they don't have the money. You know, I don't have 20% of $50,000, $500,000. You know, you're living in Jersey, 20% of
those are
$1 million.
But those are fears of the unknown. Because there are programs that you put zero down. There is a lot of programs. It depends on what your income is or your situation. But there is actually a lot of programs that help people with a little bit of money. You can put from 3.5, 10, 15. As an investor, yes, you gotta put more money down. But as a regular young fella that is trying to buy their first home, you can put as little as 3.5 or 0 down, and then use the equity of your property. That's how I started. Use the equity of your property to purchase other properties. Many people don't know that. So you should talk definitely with an expert that is dealing in real estate that can guide you through and have the knowledge to do it. So
yeah, that's why it's always good to start, and then you'll get the money. You'll be able to expand and grow or do whatever you want to do. If you want to buy a second home to live in, or if you want to buy a second home to invest in. Yeah,
that's true.
Okay. So there are a lot of resources out there. You know, if you don't have the money, that's okay. But you should be, if you are thinking about like buying a house because we haven't really gotten to investing yet. You really want to get the information from a credible source. So a lender, a real estate agent.
If you don't know, just reach out to us, 21 Vox.
Yeah, hit up Vox.
I actually
for sure.
have a really good agent.
Okay.
I can definitely put him to work with you. His name is Kevin.
Okay. The name sounds familiar.
He's not related to Apple, but his name is Kevin Apple. He's really good. Results for too.
Best one.
Hit up Kevin Apple at Vox for all the information you need because they're out there. Okay.
And he's reliable too.
Oh yeah. Very, very reliable. So hit up Vox. Hit up Kevin at Vox. Work on that credit.
We're here.
Get the right information, okay? So don't be scared. Don't hesitate. If someone were to walk into your office and they're like, I want to buy, but I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of hesitant. Is that the advice you would give them? Like you would just connect them to?
We would connect them. First of all, we have to connect them with a lender.
Okay. And lenders, they assess whether you can, like how much money you can get.
Right. So the lender's going to ask them basic questions. How much they make, their bank statements, if they work in W-2s, they're going to ask them for the W-2s, obviously taxes, if they work in 1099s, and then run their credit. With all that minimum information, they can tell them how much they qualify for, and if they don't qualify for the amount that they want, because you may want a property of a certain amount that you don't get there yet. Then you can project it to the next year or
get a cosigner.
To help you on the purchase of the home.
Could be your father, your brother, friend.
Okay.
They could consign for the loan and they can help you out to boost your credit, your buying power.
Your buying power.
Buying power. It's the word of the
day.
Yeah.
Word of the day. Buying power is very, very important. Okay. I'm going to have to go into Vox because I definitely want to get into, I think about it all the time, like I want investment properties and need that money coming in. But no, what I'm really excited about with the investment properties is like interior design.
Nice.
Like redesigning and all that kind of stuff.
You can get really nice, or you can go really cheap. So you need to know what kind of investor you want to be.
I know.
There's actually programs for you that you can do with little down payment. You can actually do the renovations that you want, and they give you the full amount of the renovations.
I would love that. Because that's probably the only reason why I would really want to, outside of like the passive income, is definitely to have, like a creative project. I love like putting my, coming up with a design, putting my little touch in it, I'm watching like home makeovers all day.
Nice.
Yeah. My mom, growing up, I used to always watch my mom watch like HGTV. And I'm just like, why are you watching this? This is so boring. But now I get it.
But keep pushing those dreams up. Do it. Don't overthink it, because when we start overthinking, we start getting fear. When you get fear, you never do it. So don't overthink it. Just do it. Go for it.
So you should suggest I just jump into it.
Yeah. Just do it. Get that buying power.
I am the biggest overthinker, so for you to tell me that is like crazy, because I'll think like, well, where am I going to get the money to do this? I'm going to need time to save up this money.
That will be my wife.
Now, let me ask you. When you go out and you get a parking ticket, where do you get the money from? Didn't you just throw it out?
I got a ticket like yesterday.
Okay. So that's how you get your money. You get it out of, I need to get it. I need to pay it off. That desperation.
Because if you want something... Like, if you think about it, like, you might not want to spend on your needs or your passions or, like, invest in yourself. But it's like, I don't want to spend $300 on this, but I just spent, like, $500 today, like, at TJ Maxx. Or doing some BS. Like, I just spent mad money that I could have just, like, invested into something. So it's like, you're always spending money. But when it comes to, like, you spending intentionally and, like, having to do grown-up things, like, trying to build buying power. A down payment. It's kind of like...
I was at the barber shop, and I'm sorry to cut you off, and the barber just keeps saying to me, stop putting your dream away. Because I was like,
stop procrastinating.
Concerned with my overweight, and I was like, he's like, no, you gotta get it. Stop taking care of others. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what you gotta do. Get that buying power for yourself.
Yeah. Where do you see the market going from here?
Well, I do a lot of studies, and there's a lot of people that's saying it's gonna dip. But actually, Freddie Mac has a theory of going 4% in 2023. Okay. I don't think we're just ready to go down because of the need of buyers for a place. So it's still a lot of buyers out there. Yeah. A lot of demand. So I don't think we just there yet.
One question that I had, wow, it just slipped. I hate when this happens. So my question is, I feel like a year ago, it's like homeownership was pushed on us. And now, because housing is so high and mortgage rates are so high, now it's like you're hearing that renting is okay. It's not so bad to rent because the cost of maintaining a house is like super crazy right now. And so, and then even on the news, I remember like watching some like stories from people who are like struggling to keep their house. They're struggling to, whether it's water or maintenance or anything like that, because the like cost of energy is so high and gas and all that kind of stuff. So do you really feel like home ownership is worth it for everyone? Like, is it really for everybody?
I think it should be. Now it's a matter of how committed are you?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle's another one.
So you might need to adjust to
a lot of people loses their properties because they don't seek for that help. They're afraid to ask, and what they teach in school is to be afraid of the unknown, and that's what is happening. That's what the issue, I think, in my perspective is. Okay. That people don't seek for the help. Okay. Because there is like a bunch of ways
from family, friends, or from like programs,
lenders that can assist them and refi and lower their.
Right. So now, if you think about it, when you're looking for a rental right now, and it could go from anywhere from 2 to 3 or even higher. So let's say it's $3,000 for you to move into a property. You need 3.5 months. You need 1 month worth, 1.5 security, and 1 month usually the real estate will charge. So 3.5 months, you're already halfway there to buying a house.
And for those that don't know
you just need that little bit.
I get what you mean now. From like, you might as well buy, especially here. It's astronomical. Like if you can afford to pay $3,000 a month in rent for your 1 bedroom, you might as well be,
And you gotta still mortgage. Get a good credit score. Credit is so important nowadays. Even they can report, if you don't pay your rent on time, your landlord can report it to the bureaus now. So
really?
Yes.
That's a new thing.
Yeah. That is crazy because rent is so high. So, some months are
the credit bureaus that want a dip into that. So they just created that a year ago.
Wow.
And you go through the pretty much same steps. They check your credit. They make sure you make all your payments on time. They check your bank account.
They check your income
They ask
sometimes.
you for your W-2s and your pay stubs at least 2 months. So they need to make sure that you're actually qualifying to pay for their mortgage. So why not pay yours?
And their interest rate is 100%.
Okay. Buy that house, y'all. All right. What would you said so is buying a home for yourself different than investing? Like just buying an investment home, because you said you had to put more money up as an investor.
So yes and no. So when you own already your first home and you wanted to invest in something else, they count that as an investment. So it used to be where you can put down 10%. Now they increase it because everything is so high to 25%. So
dang.
Yes.
10 to 25%?
Yep. So there's ways around it. You could, like I said, you can use the equity of your house to put down for that property and buy more home.
That's another buying power.
Well, having one property already?
You have one property. The value goes up. You cash out and you buy another property with that same property.
So what happens to the original property that you took all the equity out of? Like, don't you get a penalty for that?
No, you don't get a penalty.
There's no prepayment penalty for New Jersey.
Your mortgage will be a little higher, but then now you have more money to buy another property, put it into something else. Or you can go on vacation and buy a car.
Just don't say it to the banks.
You can't tell. So you have to use equity for home related.
No, you don't have to. You can actually pay your credit cards down. You can do whatever you need to do. Yes.
I'm about to call y'all tomorrow. I'm about to get me a house.
Let's do it.
What?
Oh, call Kevin. Kevin is good.
Oh no, Kevin's my real estate agent. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know? That's my real estate agent. No, for sure. So my father, I didn't even mention this earlier, but I grew up watching him because he's kind of in real estate. He used to flip houses. So I used to go with him to the houses that he was working on, and just being a little girl, just at the house at him. And, this guy who, his friend, Mr. Glenn, who used to help him with the construction. He was this Caribbean guy, Mr. Glenn. And so I remember riding around with them in this windowless white rapist van, going to these houses. And so before, it's like you said, your parents were entrepreneurs, and, they kind of pushed you to be an entrepreneur / 9-to-5er. And so I kind of grew up seeing, my parents be entrepreneurs because they've never had a 9-to-5. And
without knowing, they grew up that interior designing in you because you saw all this flipping and
yeah. So I'm really into it. So I'm super excited now. So another question that
came from the audience.
That's really, really important is to help us understand the difference between equity and equity line of credit. Because I feel like the equity thing is we're learning a lot about housing and building wealth through home ownership, but the concept of equity and how you can use equity in one house, like just starting, get your house so you can get that equity and then you can invest in other houses. But there's also equity line of credit. And so what's the difference between equity and equity line of credit?
So the equity, it's what builds up on the top of your home. Okay. So if you buy the property for $100,000 in 2020, now in 2022 it's $200,000. Now you have $100,000.
Because that's the appreciation of the house, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So.
And they give you, and so to clarify, the equity that is built onto the property, they give you up to 75% of the equity.
So
if I take it out, they're giving me 75% of
75% of the loan to value. So if you still owe 100, they're only gonna give you what's left over to that 75%. Okay. You don't take all the 100
Math
out.
was not my best subject.
Okay.
But keep going.
But it's still a good way of pulling a lot of money out. I mean, there's people that have hundreds of thousands in those the properties and they don't even know.
How do you find out how much equity you have in your house?
You call your realtor and you ask them to do a comps. Can you do comps for me?
Or a CMA.
Yeah, so your realtor is not just the person that sells you the house and they just disappear with your money. You're supposed to have this long-lasting relationship with your realtor. I never knew that.
Once you talk to one of us or one of our agents, you're married for life.
Okay.
We connect you with the health insurance, the person that sells all the furniture.
What?
Everyone.
We build, and that's the beauty, and that's what we love so much about being a realtor, because you bonded with people. Like I said, this person in 2016, they still reach out to us in 2022. And we actually became friends because you're there.
You become like a trusted advisor.
And exactly. And they give you all the bank accounts. You enter their business and you into their privacy, so you actually bonded with that person. They tell you secrets that they might don't tell their parents, so it's kind of like building a friendship forever with the right realtor.
We get questions like from buyers like, oh my god, I got a bill but it's not the same company that we got the mortgage with. Oh my god, my property taxes just went up. What do I do? They call us for literally everything, So
you become their CPA, their psychologist.
Everything.
That's comforting to know that you have someone like to support you along the way. And that's why, picking a real estate agent is super important. Someone that you trust and someone who has your best interest. Because, real estate agents might have this like negative connotation, like they're just in it for the money and they're just going to sell you anything, and that's not true.
Some people are, and some people are, when you're passionate about what you do, then you do it with love and you give all the good things that you can give. It's just like when a teacher wants to be a teacher and someone just did the career because they want to have the summer off. It's a difference.
Paycheck.
So it's about passion. If you work with a realtor who's passionate about their career, then most likely they're going to help you and they're going to help you for good.
Yeah.
So
equity line of credit. You talked about equity. Did you mention the equity line of credit? Did I miss that?
Okay. We
just making sure it is
went off
English
track
for me.
So the line of credit, you actually go to the bank and they'll give you the line of credit depending on your credit score. Usually they give you about 30, 50,000 and no more than that.
So the equity is built onto your whole, and the equity line of credit is a lien aside from your mortgage. You picture what I'm saying?
So there's two separate ones. So you'll still have your mortgage and you don't owe anything on top of it. When you refi cash out from your equity, you build up, your mortgage goes higher.
Okay.
When you take out the line of equity, it's a separate loan.
It's a secondary loan. It's secondary mortgage per se.
Okay. Because the line of credit is like, we're giving you this amount of money, you got to pay it back.
Yeah.
Well, you still have to pay it back.
There's different restrictions about it. Depends on the
always got to pay back.
It depends on the banking, the restrictions that they have. The equity line of credit, it goes by the bank rulings. The home equity that you build up is kind of like a mortgage. It's the same way. So,
and it's usually within a one-family home. I haven't seen a bank that does it 2 families for home equity lines. It has to be like your primary home, and then you can do the home equity line.
They call it the HELOC. That's what they call it.
I've heard of that before.
That's what it's called. HELOC.
I've heard the acronym before. All right, I'm a little in the know. I don't know where I saw that, but HELOC sounds familiar. Okay. Yep. So those are 2 important terms to know, but your real estate agent should tell you that.
Did we answer the question?
Yes, the difference between equity and equity line of credit. I feel like you answered it. Because you let us know what equity is, and then you let us know what equity line of credit is. Equity is the amount of money that is accrued once you buy the house. So you have this amount of money that's like connected to it. You can take it out. When can you take out the equity? Is it like, you have to let it sit
builds
for
up into
whenever if you done renovations and your property went up in price because you done the renovations, you already have your equity built up.
Okay.
So as soon as you have it, then you can call your lender or call the realtor to call your lender and hook you up.
Nice. I like that. I'm getting excited from this conversation. You buy me a house tomorrow. I'm about to call y'all. All right. I'm going to do it for sure. I'm just like, I'm one of those hesitant people that's like, I don't know where to start. I don't have the capital. So...
let the expert do the legwork for you and guide you through.
No overthinking. Stop overthinking it. Okay?
You want that
just
freedom.
Ask for that
you
help.
Have to.
Yeah.
There are some, I'm going to mention it again. There are some programs that can actually help you with your closing costs. Because a lot of people think about the down payment, but they don't think about closing costs. Okay? So that's a big help. And there's a few programs out there that will give you $10,000 towards closing costs. It may be a little more, depending on what you're buying.
And for those that are afraid, of course, you gotta pay back every single penny you lend. So for those people that are afraid of the interest rate right now, too, the lenders are doing what is a buy to down. It buys down the actual rate down. You pay it as a form of a loan, but you don't come out of pocket straightforward.
Okay.
So it's a good advice for those people that has been overthinking, and they're afraid to make the move because of the interest rate. There is ways to do it.
When you buy down payments, you pay them at closing, basically.
Okay.
And 1 point is 1% of the loan. So if you know math, right?
No, I don't.
1% of the loan.
No, there's a calculator. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to get into it. I might get it wrong.
Okay, so I remember closing costs.
Wait.
I definitely, the calculator is my best friend.
Mine too.
So I wanted to move into living with your partner, because I feel like that, especially when like you're buying a home together, you're a young couple, you're buying your first home. I feel like that's like also something that, people in their 20s are like figuring out and navigating, because there's also this like, there's this like huge discussion around like 50-50, like splitting bills and whether you should be splitting your bills with your partner or not. But I feel like when you're in an established relationship and you're like moving in with your partner, a home is a huge investment. You guys are doing it together. So my question is for you guys. So if your children were to come to you, like when they get older, they have their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're thinking about moving in with their partner, what advice would you give them?
Moving in or purchasing a house?
So, purchasing a house together, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For my daughters, I would say until they're 50. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course.
I think if it's the right partner, go for it. Okay. You just want to make sure that whomever you're going to invest with, it's who you want to be. And then as far as bills, I think one credit card for all the house bills could be a great idea.
Yeah.
And then you can have separate owns because a lot of people don't like sharing. So, but that's optional.
It's more like a personal taste. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't believe in 50-50, or either you give 100 or there's nothing.
What's 100?
You got your
you
whole.
give 100. You give me 100. We share everything.
Oh.
You give your whole to that partner.
Okay. And so, is there like any particular like financial advice that you would give to folks who are like buying their first home together, or is it just just make sure you're doing it with the right person? It's the same thing. Have your credits together. Have a plan.
I would say that make sure whatever you're buying, it fits your budget and your lifestyle.
Okay.
You don't want to. I see a lot of people will break up because they can't pay their bills. Okay. So I think when it comes to purchasing together, you want to make sure that whatever you're getting, it fits your budget and you both are comfortable with the payment.
Okay.
Because you could qualify for $1 million, but then
You have to
you need to know,
keep the house.
do I want to just live for the property or I want to have a vacation, I want to do my hair, you want to get a car. So you need to fit your budget.
Yeah.
And that's like my biggest advice.
Okay.
It's
pretty good advice.
True.
Paul's like, okay.
Yes, honey.
If it was up to me, they wouldn't be moving in with nobody. Oh.
I get that last word at home. It's yes, honey. Yes, whatever you want.
That's that 100 that you're talking about. Okay. So before we close, I think one thing that I took away was that your real estate agent is like your best friend, your BFF to the end. The person that sold you the house, you trusted them with all your personal information, all your financials. They know so much. How does one pick what should you look for in a real estate agent when you're looking to, buy a house?
I think is the knowledge.
Okay.
Whether you're you choosing a brand new agent, that brand new agent or whoever agent is
gonna have a team leader.
Is teaming you with and partnering with you to get that surge. Has to learn about you and have the knowledge and the ability to adjust to your needs. So whether you're a brand new agent out there or you're a new, old and seasonal agent, he has to adjust because it doesn't matter how many years you got in the industry. If you're not adjusting and have that chemistry, it's like a relationship. I teach all my new agents, real estate is like a relationship. Yeah. So you got to have that chemistry with your client.
Okay.
And adjust to it. So if you're not adjusting and teaching your client what are the next step because you're the expert, don't choose that agent.
It's kind of like dating, making sure you have chemistry with this person, making sure they're able to adjust, Okay.
I would say, with your real estate agent. Maybe you want to interview a few.
Oh.
And say, what can you do for me? Okay. How are you going to service me the best?
Yeah.
And I'm sure whomever listens the most, it's who you're going to pick. That's how I would choose someone.
Well, as they say in commercial real estate, do your DD, your due diligence.
Yes. All right. So I never heard that before. Shop for your real estate agent. Okay. It's super, super important. What sets Vox Realty apart from other franchises, I
believe it's the culture that we embed, the relationship that we build with the clients. We kind of make you one of our own, one of the pack. So we take you there and we when you're showing a property, you're in the front and you're leading, and this is and making that vision of where you're gonna be. Is this gonna be the kids' bedroom? Is this gonna be a family gathering right here? That's what we embed, and that's what we focus in. I tell everybody that trains with me, don't focus on your competition. It's like a horse blinder. You just focus on your line and forget the distraction. Just go for it. And that's what it makes us, sets us apart from everybody. We're not just looking for that distraction.
Put in the priority of your client first. You know, if you really trying as a first-time home buyer and you working with someone, with a lender, and then they tell you, oh no, you don't qualify, don't just stop there. There's so many other options that you can fix your credit, talk to the owner, say, can you extend the closing date? There's so many things, and that's what we pushed to get you to the finish line.
Oh, that's good.
So I think putting our clients first, it's what set us all apart.
Nice. So like providing that support, you know, not just stopping at no.
1,000%.
Yeah, making
I'll
sure
get you the house, or I get you the house.
I'll get you the American dream that everybody have.
No, that sounds like the, you know, the team that you need, you know? That sounds great. What is your goal for the new year?
The new year is just keep building that culture.
Okay.
Bringing big and better projects to the family.
It's coming.
And it's coming.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Coming.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we were on the news the other day.
Yes,
Yeah?
he was. I made it too late.
So if I may, can I say it? And you guys are all invited.
Yes, please.
For the new year, and that's one of the goals. They're doing a first-time home buyer seminar. Empowering women is gonna be only women.
Okay.
We cheering up for the women. It's gonna be lenders, attorneys, all women, teaching the community of Union County to learn how to buy and purchase their first home.
So is this virtual? Is it in person?
It's going to be in person, and everybody is going to get their first-time home buyer book.
Oh my gosh. So when, date, time, and this is Union County, New Jersey, you guys, so
I'm going to have you stay tuned with the date and time.
Okay.
It's going to be about the third week of April, but I will give you details on it.
That's so exciting. Okay.
Let's go for it.
I'll be sure to post it so everyone will I'll post it on my page and everything.
Nice.
By that time.
Thank you for
so
the
send
support.
Me a flyer or something. Yeah.
We will.
So exciting. So you guys hit up 21
Century 21.
Okay, you guys do it.
Century 21 Vox Realty, and we're located in Union, New Jersey.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in once again to the KillaKonvos podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at the KillaKonvos podcast. And pass the Vox. See you guys next week.
Take care.
Ciao.